everybody, it's Megan here, the Healing Foods Coach, also known as the Faithful Fibromyalgia Warrior, because I'm both things, nutritional coach, as well as a fibromyalgia warrior who is faithful. So my little play on words there. I am also representing the two countries that I claim to be as mine. The castle behind me in this photo is the Colchester Castle, which is actually now a museum just down the road from where I live in England, and of course, Canada, where I was born and grew up. So I hope you're all doing well today on this Tuesday, August the 6th. Wow, this time is going by. The summer seems to always go by so quickly, doesn't it? Which reminds me, let me remind you all, so I don't forget, I am, of course, still offering my special summer discount for your initial consultation and assessment coaching with me when you book that on my website. But I've also reduced the pricing of the regular follow-up appointments as well. So if you're interested in one-to-one coaching, please go check out my website, which is right down there on the bottom, and book those sessions while the offer is still going. So I hope you're doing well today. I was trying to think about what topic I wanted to cover today. There's always so many. And the one that jumped out to me was the idea of people thinking that eating a carnivore diet must be bored. I've heard people ask, well, isn't carnivore really boring? All you eat is steak. Now, for those of you who love steak, that may not seem boring to you. I understand. Okay. But for those who are considering starting in this way of eating, those of you who have started, but you're finding that you've eaten so much steak and you just couldn't possibly eat another piece of beef if your life depended on it, and you're asking, why isn't carnivore just so boring? And what can I do to get through that? Or, how do I overcome that feeling that, oh, I'm so bored with eating the exact same thing every day, maybe sometimes 2 or 3 times a day? Okay, well, first of all, I would like to simply point out and suggest that food is supposed to be fuel for the body. It's supposed to nourish us. It is not supposed to be a source of entertainment. If we are looking to food for comfort and entertainment, we're getting it from the wrong sources. We should be getting comfort and entertainment from our social interactions, from our families and friends and other loved ones. We should be getting that, say, from the work we do, the jobs that perhaps we perform every day, if possible. Maybe it's from things such as increasing our daily movement, being able to go for walks, enjoy the outdoors, sit outside with a nice cold beverage on a summer's day. Those are things that we should look to bring us entertainment and joy. I mean, entertainment really should be something entertaining. Food is not supposed to entertain us. It is supposed to fuel us and nourish us. And if we go beyond that, we're missing the point of eating. So I say all that because when we look at food as a way to nourish and fuel our bodies, it's amazing how easily we can let go of some of the things that we've always thought we had to have in our daily food intake, such as the potato chips or crisps, as we call them here, and the cookies and the biscuits and the cakes and pies and desserts and ice cream and all that stuff, which really has zero nutritional value for the most part. We ate it because why? We felt a sense of pleasure or joy came from eating that item. Even if the after effect was negative, we would still go back to those sweets and junk foods and special treats because we associate them with a certain moment in time where we felt some sort of pleasure or joy. And I would perhaps suggest that maybe what we need to do is focus on enjoying, again, social interactions with other people. Yes, perhaps finding joy or pleasure in things like reading a good book, finding something cool to watch on TV or Netflix, going to the movies with friends, going out and just enjoying people's company, enjoying the outdoors if possible. Even if it's just enjoying a little bit more range of movement, or, for those who are not able to walk at this moment for whatever reason. Maybe it's being able to stand for a few seconds at a time. Maybe it's being able to take a few steps without too much pain. Little moments like that, those are things that should bring us joy and be entertaining, not our food. So I say that because when I first started into this, I was worried that maybe I would get bored with having to eat meat and egg and whatever else every single day. The reality is, when I started to look at food as a source of fuel and energy to nourish my body, and I got my entertainment from other entertaining things like movies, TV, books, all of a sudden the food it just tasted better because I wasn't eating it to be entertained out of a sense of boredom. I was eating because my body was hungry, it needed nourishment. I put food as fuel into it. Now, some people still find they do much better and are more likely to stick with a carnivore diet. Again, anytime you eat a diet that has more than 70% of the foods coming from an animal source, that is a carnivore diet. Okay. Whether you include a few low carb veggies or fruits is up to you, but that is still carnivore. So when you're on a carnivore, in other words, animal-based diet, and you're eating because your body requires fuel and energy, I don't know, to me, I find that the food just tastes better because I'm eating it at that point for the right reasons, if that makes sense. I'm not eating it because I'm bored and I don't know what to do with myself. And, I could have watched TV, or I could have gone for a walk, or maybe I could have put a film on, but I didn't. I decided to eat something sugary, fatty, carby, whatever. Instead, I'm allowing everything else other than food become a source of entertainment, and food the fuel that it should be. And so when I started to do that, I found even if I ate the exact same thing every day, it was the things that my body was actually needing and craving. And so it wasn't boring to me. So as you probably will see from my shorts, and you'll find me over on TikTok under Healing Foods Coach as well, 24, and you'll find me on Instagram and all the social places. If you watch my reels and my shorts and my videos, what you'll find is that a lot of the things I eat repeat daily. So breakfast, if I have breakfast, is typically some cut up pieces of chicken breast with typically 2 or 3 egg yolks and a lot of butter. Or sometimes it'll be ground beef with egg yolks and butter. Or sausage with egg yolks and butter. You see there's a repeating theme there. But for me personally, I don't find that boring because I love the taste of it. It is satisfying, it's satiating, and it's everything I want when I'm ready to eat. I would probably be bored if I tried eating when I wasn't actually hungry. But when I allow my body to signal and let me know when I'm truly, truly hungry and therefore need to eat fuel and nourish myself, it's amazing. Even if it's the same thing repeatedly, I don't find it boring. Some people will have nothing but various cuts of steak. They maybe throw in some vegetables. They might throw in some butter. Maybe they'll have a bit of cheese or other dairy products, which is fine. Okay. And that's all they want to have. And that's great. Perfect. You know what you're eating every day. In many ways, it makes your cooking process and your meal planning really simple. And I do enjoy a really well prepared steak. However, I am not the best at that. So when my husband announces, hey, I know we've got some sirloins, I know we've got some ribeye, how about I barbecue tonight? Oh, I'm all over it. Totally. Good. That's me sorted. Because he barbecues them perfectly. If we go to a restaurant, I'm more likely to order a steak when we're out. And or if I know they have really good burgers, I'll order just the patties, skip all the toppings. That's me sorted. Okay, so that's more when I go out. When I'm at home, it's always either chicken breast or sausage or ground beef with egg yolks and lots and lots and lots of butter. That's what I love. That's what I crave. That's what I eat. And I personally don't find it boring. I don't, people, have often commented and asked, well, don't you miss the variety of salads and fruit and side plates and dishes? And I just think, no, I don't, because I don't do well with those things anyways. But when I'm eating the meats that I crave and that I know I'm going to love and I really enjoy the taste of, I feel fantastic. So to somebody who has never actually attempted the carnivore diet, whether you're more low carb and keto or whether you're full on zero carb carnivore, it can be daunting because all you can see initially is, oh, I have to give up all my favorite things. I have to give up all my desserts and all my grains and cereals and pastas and vegetables and all the really good favorite juicy sweet fruits. I have to give it all up. I don't know if I can do that. And I've been there. And I know it can be very, very daunting. But I would add, when you get rid of that stuff and you clear everything else out and you allow your body to heal and start to repair and start to get better from whatever it is you maybe are dealing with, I promise you, once you get going, you will not miss it. You really won't. And when your body learns to recognize the actual signs and symptoms of true hunger and true satiety, and you're eating to nourish, not because you're bored, then you will find that your food choices will also be, to you, not boring. To somebody who sees me eat ground beef with egg yolks almost every night for dinner, or chicken with egg yolks and lots of butter for lunch, that can seem boring because it's repetitive. But it's repetitive because I enjoy it. So it's kind of a trick question. It can seem boring to someone who isn't already eating this way because all they know is what they have to give up. But for those of us who are eating this way and seeing results and having improved health, probably some weight loss, loss of inflammation, loss of chronic pain, and so on, gaining of brain function and thought process and all of that, it's not boring. It's amazing. So the other thing I would like to throw in is that you do not have to eat just steak in order to be a carnivore. You don't. Okay. I enjoy a well-done steak when I go out for a nice meal. And like I said, occasionally my husband will offer to barbecue, and I'm all over that because he does it perfectly. But generally speaking, I am extremely happy to simply eat ground beef, egg yolks, butter, or chicken, egg yolks, butter. Why? Because I love it. It makes me feel nourished and healthy and good and full. And so if you're thinking of starting carnivore, or you're just kind of starting and you're not maybe sure what things to keep in your fridge, if I may, because steaks can be, regardless of where you live in the world, steaks can be very expensive. All right. But ground beef, regular ground beef, or 20% fat and higher ground beef, you can get anywhere, usually pretty cheap. Eggs, you can probably get pretty cheap from everywhere, obviously. And if you have a lactose intolerance, try just having the yolks first, because the whites seem to cause a similar histamine response as lactose does to people who are intolerant. Okay, so you try the egg yolks, but maybe stay away from the whites at first. If you enjoy sausages and bacon, have it. It doesn't seem to cause any issues. Enjoy it. If you like chicken and turkey and duck and goose, eat that. If you enjoy fish and seafood, I leave that to you. I find it tastes disgusting. I don't like it. But if you enjoy it and it does not seem to cause you any problems, have at it. Carnivore simply means any animal and fat source, or any protein and fat source from any type of animal. So whether it's fish, seafood, pork, poultry, red meat from ruminant animals such as beef and lamb or bison or deer, enjoy. Have at it. Whatever of all those things you like and you can afford, eat that, and you will find some success. If all you can afford right now, and actually Dr. Berry talks about this quite often, and he's right, if all you can afford is things like salami, or like the deli meats and some inexpensive cheeses, eat that, because that is still far better than a carb-heavy diet. And then perhaps as you progress along, you can find ways to get other kinds of meats that are less expensive, that aren't smoked or cured, because those can cause a reaction in some people. I'm one of them. Doesn't affect everybody, but it can affect some people. But figure out which things you want to try that either A, you already know you like, or that you're sure you might like, or that you're willing to try to see if you like. Start with that. You do not have to eat organ meats. If you like them, fine, but you don't have to eat them. You can get everything you need from the muscle meats, skeletal muscle meat, from whatever animal group you choose to eat from. So it's definitely not boring. And if you need to add a variety of things, like sometimes I'll have a bit of sausage and chicken and beef and egg yolks, and I'll cook it all up in the skillet. That'll be my lunch. Or if I haven't eaten earlier in the day, that'll be like my late lunch, early dinner. So there are great ways to get creative, for sure. But figure out what you think you might like, go from there. And therefore, it doesn't have to be boring. You do not have to eat ribeyes every day. You don't have to eat sirloin every day. In fact, most of us cannot afford to do that on a daily basis. Maybe buy a few now and again. But if you stick with the less expensive cuts and different animal cuts, because some of them are a whole lot, like poultry is a lot less expensive. Fatty ground beef, typically cheap, like I said. Try these things instead. So if you can't afford to do the more expensive things like lamb, or if you can't afford fresh salmon, because that can be expensive too, but if you can only afford white fish, but you also like sardines, but you like shrimp and prawns, buy what you can afford, have a whole bunch of things together. There's nothing that says you can't do that. In fact, if you include a few more items, you'll probably find that you are getting enough fat along with the protein, and you're going to feel a lot more satisfied. So just a suggestion. But I suppose to finally get around and answer the big question, no, I do not find that carnivore diet is boring. What I find is that through carnivore, I eat when I'm actually hungry, and I stopped eating just because I was bored, but actual following a carnivore lifestyle itself is not boring. So I hope this helps. I hope that this is useful to some of you guys, encouraging. If you are just considering starting on this way of eating, you can go to my website and book consultation sessions with me. If you want one-to-one help through this, that's what I do. Whether you want to try more low carb or keto or full carnivore, I can talk you through it all, help you, support you through it all. Outside of that, please continue to just leave your comments and your likes and your encouragement. I always love hearing from you guys. I personally think I have the best supportive subscribers out of all of YouTube. You guys are always kind and considerate and thoughtful and encouraging, and you make me smile. You certainly help inspire me in my own faith as I continue on this journey, and I hope that you guys are inspired too. Thank you for all of your thoughts, all of your good wishes, all of your questions. Please keep doing that, okay? Because I respond to every single question I get and every comment that I get. So thank you for that, for taking the time out to do that on my channel. I will respond back to you as well, because I know I would appreciate it if it was me, and I want you guys to know that I do read your comments, and they do mean a lot to me. So thank you very much for all of that. Have yourselves a fantastic day, whatever you get up to. And I will see you in the next video. I'll have more content for you tomorrow. Not quite sure yet what the topic will be. but I hope it'll be helpful for everyone. And yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. That's it for today, guys. Thanks and have a good one. See you next time.